Hello, welcome back to another video. Today we're just going to do our introduction to polynomials and go over the basic terminology, which will make teaching a lot easier later on, and might just start off with some really simple questions. But we'll see how we go in terms of time. So to start off with the definition of a polynomial, let's grab a slightly smaller pen. Definition. Polynomial is any equation rather, with integer powers. So what this last bit is saying, integer powers, is just saying whole numbers. So essentially, for example, we'll just have a couple examples here. Oh, actually, pick a lighter color, there you go. P of x, so the polynomial of x is x to the 3 plus 2x squared plus 3. If we look at all the powers here, this 3, this 2, and this imaginary 1 we can pretend is up here. Those are all integers. Alright, so this does all have integer powers, and therefore this is overall a polynomial. However, if we write out a different one, let's go pink, P of x. If we had something like x to the 1.5 plus root x plus 2, immediately right off the bat, you can see this 1.5 isn't an integer power, and root x can be rewritten as x to the 1 over 2, going back to indice laws, so that's also not an integer power, and so this is quite obviously not going to be a polynomial. And so this, we'll just highlight in red, not a polynomial. Alright? So that's a good way to start off, just figure out what actually is a polynomial, because you're not going to be able to work with them if you don't know what it is to start off with. So now that we've got that cleared up, we're just going to go into some terminology. So features of polynomials. So some features of polynomials. I'm just going to write out an example here. So P of x equals 10x to the 5 plus 3x to the 2 plus 2x plus 4. Alright, there we go. So we've got this written out nicely. And now what we're going to do is just go through the different names of different parts of it. So to start off with, the degree. So the degree of a polynomial, it's not like 360 degrees, that sort of thing. The degree of the polynomial, I'm going to use different colors here. Go with an orange to start off with. The degree is the highest power. So if you look at this polynomial, it would be this 5 over here. But it's not necessarily the one that's the furthest left, because you can have something that's like 10x squared plus 5x to the 6 plus 3x plus 1. And in this case, it would be the 6 still. So it's just the highest power you can find in the polynomial. Alright, now, for second, I'll actually just write this out. Highest power 2. The constant Now the constant is the coefficient of x to the power of 0, is one way of putting it. Another way is just the term without x in it. Alright, so pick pink. Actually, we'll try to pick colors that go remotely together. So this is our constant here. And it would be this one over here. You can notice there's no x attached to it, because x to the power of 0 is 1, and so 4 times x to the power of 0 equals 4 times 1 equals 4. Right? Nice and simple there. Now, for a third term, wait, no x. I'll just say that. For a third term, coefficient, I actually think I just used this word now, so I shouldn't have gone out of order there, but either way, the coefficient is the number in front of the x, so it's what you're multiplying the term by. So here x squared is being multiplied by 3, x to the 5 is being multiplied by 10, 2x is being multiplied by, x is being multiplied by 2. So all those are coefficients. So when I talk about coefficients, I'm talking about the number in front of the variable. And the leading term is talking about the term with the highest power, or the term with the degree in it. So if our degree is this 5 up here, then our leading term would be this whole term up here. Just do an arrow because I've already got highlighted stuff. Leading term. Nice and simple. And just something to note, this isn't necessarily a term, but your degree, note, degree equals highest number of zeros possible. Essentially what it means is it's the highest number of solutions possible for x. So we'll get into that a little bit later, but that's just something to look at. You might have less than the degree amount, but you'll never have more than whatever number is. So for this one, you'll never have more than 5 solutions because our degree is 5. Alright, so there's just some terminology, nice and quickly, and we might just have a practice here, just one example, quickly. So p of x equals x to the 3 minus x to the 4 plus 6x squared. First, express in standard form. So we'll just do that first, and then we'll move into the second question. So we'll move this a bit further down. So standard form is just in order of degrees. So sorry, not order. Yeah, order of powers. So negative 4. Goodness me. Negative x to the 4. There we go. Plus x to the 3 plus 6x squared. And a common practice with polynomials is to take out the negative. So take it out, and it just flips the sign of everything. So this becomes minus x to the 3 minus 6x squared. Okay? Now, for this purpose though, we're just going to be using this version because I think there might be questions that trip us up if we don't. So here we go. A, state the degree. Okay, so we just went over this. Our degree is the highest power which we found in the polynomial. So now that we've put it in order of powers, we can just look at whatever power is the furthest left, and that's a 4, right? So I'm gonna grab my highlighter again and just use the same colors I used up there. So our 4 is our degree. 4. For b, we're going to state the constant term. Now, constant term, if we're going back up, is the term without x in it. Okay, so if we look at this, what doesn't have x in it? Well, what's quite funny is all of them have x in it. So what is our constant term? You could say no constant term, but another answer is also to say that there's a plus 0 here that you just can't see. And so we're just going to state our constant term as 0, because that at least gives us an answer. And you can also just say no brackets, no constant. You won't get marked down for that, because it's a bit of a tricky question anyway, as long as you show understanding by saying no constant or also including 0, then it shows you fully understand what they're asking for. C, the coefficient of x squared. Coefficient of x squared. So coming back up, a coefficient is green. It's the number connected to whatever x is, or whatever the variable is rather. So of x squared, if our x squared here, this is our term with x squared in it, what's the number? That's right, it's 6. So I'm just going to grab that color again, the 6. D, the leading term. Now, leading term, remember, is the term with the degree in it. So if we look up here, we've already stated our degree is this 4, so this is our leading term. So negative x to the 4. And then we've got the greatest number of real zeros possible. Now, this is the tip I added on at the end. Degree is the highest number of zeros possible. So E, it's just the same answer as our degree, that 4 comes back down into this one. And finally,